Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Here we are getting straight into the matchup, down to business for our final map of this set. World's Edge one more time, Group A versus Group C. And here we go, man. It's time, Genome. Let's see who's gonna take this final victory. Will it be the Boogie Borders show yet again? Can someone else decide to bring up the front and be the ones to take the lead this time around?
One dub left for the taking, as you say. EXO, who started off the day very strong, now starting to lag behind the lobby leaders just a little bit. They've been playing at staging for the longest time, so it's definitely their kind of comfort zone. And I've just had the second ring revealed to me, Dax, and I can tell you that this zone is certainly going to be a comforting sight for them. It is centered on staging. They basically can't go wrong with this.
Yeah, I dare say the stage is set for an EXO victory if this keeps up. Oh, pardon the wordplay, just had to do it. But truth be told, EXO, yes, they've been in for quite a rut for a while. They do need something to their advantage because they're caught usually during the rotations. We saw it a while ago that it was just the Boogie Borders watching them try to get into Geyser. That was a thing. EXO, though, in the meantime, they might have to deal with conflict early as we have Golden Sage on the northern side, watching them already, trying to see where they're gonna go. Thing is, I'm looking at staging specifically right now. They don't really have a beacon there, so for EXO, they might not know that it was handed to them already, while the rest of the rosters, especially Boogie Borders, they're coming in close yet again.
And, I mean, there's two options here, right? If they play from sort of the top of Lower Fissure, they might be in a good spot for this next circle, but if they were pinging Lower Fissure, the buildings itself, and if they had made that guess, that's already out of the zone, and I can tell you that would have been an ugly situation for them. That said, I think now that they've seen some other teams sort of coming in as well, Boogie Borders, of course, are starting to chase them down. They've gone back to one of these Dorito houses here, and Seer Ultimate committed already. The exhibition is open.
Yeah, top one versus top two. Let's go. The focus was there. In the meantime, the Boogie Borders taking a lot of damage. Rocky down on the ground, and for the Boogie Borders, they need to take some cover as EXO Clan. You mentioned that they're already taking a chip of this house. Happy to stay on the inside. And for EXO Clan, at least they are in safer territory. Sure, they're getting scouted. The Boogie Borders, can they actually siege with the tools that they have? I think for Boogie Borders, it's not really much to lose compared to EXO. Don't get me wrong, it's a little dangerous if they actually go in, but if they really want to kick EXO down to the ground even more so, the Boogie Borders had that option, but will decide against it.
Yeah, both teams just going to decide to play a little bit more passively after the initial skirmish. And they'll be okay for the moment. Buriram. Wow, okay. Newcastle there being forced to use all of his abilities, and then Lala Bang just turns around on a dime and destroys this other team, pushing up onto him with the scout there. That's actually going to be Onyx that's on the receiving end of them, and Mexus was one shot away from going down.
Yeah, he felt his death was looming, but Buriram United we stand, and United, they set up behind the Newcastle, basically. It doesn't matter, you're gonna use those ultimates early. If you didn't have that power position, stay away and get the safer rotation, then things will be grand here for Buriram. Onyx, though, they might have the chance to break it if ever. In the meantime, I'm already watching staging. EXO had to see that because of that first skirmish, to Valiant, to Golden Sage, who does take the high ground and are just scouting around. Buriram also with the plan. Immediately the Valkyrie ult to try and fly by. You got North Side taking spot shots with Buriram. They need to find somewhere to land, and soon Jacute in absolute danger right below. There is gonna be Valiant ready at it, and it's not gonna be cute whatsoever. Deadly here for Buriram, and United this time, they will fall.
Valiant are ready for it. They were pinging the crane. They decided not to go there. They think the low ground is safe, but no, Valiant are well set up down the bottom. I'm not sure anyone's going to push them, though. I think Valiant might actually be safe here. They seem to be the early game KP specialists, don't they? Like if we're seeing someone getting into a fight early on, it's either one of the edge teams or it's Valiant. And again, like we saw this on down near Ski Lift in Storm Point as well, they seem to be picking spots, and teams will just drop the KP in their laps.
Recognition. These guys can see the future. Not just the recon, but also where these were basically some of the more, I'd say, pseudo-safe locations. They're not gonna do something obvious like take the stage with what Golden Sage has done right now, especially with the crypto. Instead, they're just so opportunistic. And case in point, they were down below on the ground. They did have the setup though, and EXO, they were thinking about it, but because of the supply drop yet again towards Valiant, they couldn't really push with the lesser armor that they have. That's one thing Valiant has had in spades here, especially on World's Edge. Supply drops courtesy of other teams.
Yeah, the boxes, they don't have to go out and get the loot. They don't need to play low, but the loot just comes to them. It's an interesting playstyle, but it's certainly been working out for Valiant today as they have crept up the towards the top of that leaderboard, and now with that early spot and an early couple of KP, it's looking good for them to potentially get even better in this last game here, game 6 of Groups A versus C. The next ring is about to be revealed as we're seeing some teams all the way down towards Thermal Station make some rotates in. It's actually T4. As you can see, they're coming in on top of Good Riddance there. Don't be distracted by the MST next to Jarrow's name. Of course, with some of these roster shuffles that have happened recently, he is playing for Good Riddance today, and they've actually posted up on the top of Thermal Station here. They're trying to scout, they're trying to get rid of this crypto drone actually, because they don't want them to get the information. T4, I don't know, I'd actually, in this situation, I reckon you let the crypto drone get there because you can't get to that beacon, and then you can just follow, you can shadow that team and use that information to your advantage.
Ah, that's pretty smart, actually. It just goes to show, I guess here for Good Riddance, they just are afraid perhaps of an EMP play. There is a small chance that T4 just goes gung-ho and Valks ult into them, but I think, yeah, that can be a safer play. They can't really go for the recon. It is so far, the crypto's the only one who can reach it, and neither of them can really contest one another, so at the very least, it's just a bit of a standoff between Good Riddance and T4. Two teams where they had some moments, but not really the biggest splash. I think for T4, it's more of they like to take a good position and call it a day. They won that last time though, right?
Yeah, I think they did. I think you might be right there. But yeah, it was the Geyser circle, of course. They did get that going their way. Look, it's been a little bit of a slower game, this one. That's the Buriram United into there on top of Valiant. You know, maybe not that they could have known, I suppose. But either way, they're going to be the only ones to take full casualties so far. And having a look at the landslide here, which is sort of just sitting on the northern edge of the next circle. We do have Dugu play, the duo this game, going up against the Dal Wolves. And unfortunately, they are going to join Buriram United in the ground.
Yeah, the Wolfpack just an easy hunt with the lesser player there, the lesser player count rather. Finds a duo, gets a takedown, and the Dal Wolves have relatively ramped up their opposition lately. They have gotten better performances here on World's Edge. It might be the same case where some teams struggle on a certain map, do better on the other, and the Dal here, well, good example of that. GQ, we're watching them now. A few pot shots yet again. They are dueling, I believe, against 20th Guaranteed over Lava Fisher. So a bit of a gatekeep, not really inside the ring yet. GQ, they have some time to work with. Sutu Tap, though, oh, taking so much damage. Rekka-sun with the Reckoning, and 20th Guaranteed. Are they going to push this and take advantage?
Yeah, so back over towards Lava Fissure, Rico is looking to put that gold armor to use here. They've got an EMP coming in, but they did manage to grab the down. He hits all of them with that, so that's 50 shield damage on all of 20th Guaranteed. But, you know, the quick meds coming through with Rico means he's back into the fight straight away. Radicakes is looking for someone inside. Rico loses his 1v1 outside. And now we're into a 2v2. Sutu Tap is on the ground. Big Boss and Mew going to try and make this work. Yeah,
Big Boss with a big EMP a while ago, at least to stem the tide, but Mew really the one to watch out for on the duels. Big Boss now down to the ground, thanks to Radicates. It's all up to Mew, all alone on this island. But what this happens, you mentioned it, MDY is right there, ready to just pick apart whatever's left. GQ goes down, and maybe the rest will be history here for MDY. Only ones left standing here for 20th guarantee is Ratty Cakes down, perhaps taking so much damage from the ring to MDY Whites. The perfect opportunity. They had that monster game last time around on this map. Is this the start of something new yet again for them? We'll see as they eliminate 20th guarantee.
MDY even chucking down a Seer ult just to make sure there's no one fourth partying this from the back. As you can see, they will eventually potentially run into the sightlines of Boogie Boarders, who are still down here on the high ground in lower fissure. But MDY, very solid opportunistic play from them there. So, Circle does pull. It shifts a little bit over to the left. You got more teams actually going down towards Thermal Station. Interestingly, it's getting more populated, not less, which is not the greatest thing for those teams, because I'm telling you, it's going to land directly on top of staging with the next circle pull.
You know, I'd honestly just believe you outright from your expertise. But from what has happened today, if it shifts to the southwest, I'm just going to be like, well, I guess that happens from time to time. Good Riddance is also going to be gone, but there you go. Okay, I'll give it to you. You know it already. Staging, of course. It's been for EXO, the grace period of Apex Legends. This is at least them inside for the next one. You got Valiant still there. You got Golden Sage happy to just play with the drone.
And you can see up the top there, MDY, it sounds like they're about to run into ADL Wolves. And once again, these guys who are just so strong in their gunplay are actually going to take first blood there. So ADL Wolves think they've got the drop. Not to be. You can see Heck, unfortunately, he's going to be the first casualty of this fight. I'm surprised, honestly, that MDY didn't continue to push after that first knock, because that seems to be their play style, but they're actually just going to sit on top of the banner there for a little while. Okay, another fight happening over at Harvester.
Yeah, PK here versus ATH, I believe, and well, there's going to be so much damage yet again happening thanks to Ats. PK, just no escape, no way to get the hell out of there, and At given the time to just revive everyone as North is watching the west side instead. And in the meantime, rotating on in, that's Kentong to the ground too, thanks to Valiant. ADL deciding to go the same way while all this is happening. Golden Stage trying to get into the action too, but look at Valiant go. They had that low ground, they're just calling the ground their base, and Ant Esports Club is smushed to the ground by Valiant.
So Valiant, after a nice start to this, looking to put some pressure on other teams who are taking space around them. Hannah there absolutely domed someone just across the way. That was ADL Wolves, I guess, who have, they've been taken out completely now. So, once again, Valiant don't want any neighbors.
Yeah, Valiant, the ground game is so strong for them, and perhaps one of the only teams that can contest. Maybe MDY White coming in from their northwestern side, but Golden Sage has decided to venture out, and they got a few KPs, a few shots along the way while all of this is happening. North side, though, in the meantime, still watching, still looking for opportunity. Yet again, sometimes they're really one of those squads that I've realized later on into today for their set, that, okay, we can actually just play it patient. We don't need to rush in. We don't need to go for the takedowns. Their Craver shot! Retic doesn't even see it coming. And that's Northside already looking for more of an opportunity.
Oh dear, Kilmate. He finds the right target, and T4 with that going to find it a lot tougher to back up their win. Sure, they had the high grounds, but it's actually the high ground that they're looking at right now. Another hit shot there. Oh my god, he doubles it up, and Ath, who I was just about to say are in God spot right now with where this next circle is shifting, have gone from, God spot to shambles, basically, and Golden Sage, who were playing from inside, are trying to push them out. Unfortunately, it's been a little bit of a war of attrition for them because they've lost someone as well. I mean, the respawn beacon is still in play. You can see some golden knockdown shields that they'll get as soon as they finish this fight off. But I'm really hoping there's a Moby beacon in there, because if Golden Sage can really fortify that position, it's going to be fantastic, because the zone will be ending sort of on the southern side of that staging proper.
And that was such a big win for them as Valiant. Yet again, low ground still the best ground. DNC goes down. I was very concerned about their supply status there for Golden Sage. They needed a squad to come at them if they wanted to continue on. As Retex was flying around, getting resurrected, hit mid-air. Retex, can you do it? Get T4. They tried to go for the ambitious res. A single sliver of HP, still alive with a bit of a chunk, but you can see everyone was watching the skies. And T4, they brought back one, but two are down in response.
Yeah, it looks like RTL are on the hunt, though. I'm not sure. Unfortunately, they're getting some. They're taking some shots from elsewhere. So rather than having the heartbeat sensor ready to go and find out that Retek is sitting there in the corner, they're going to be too busy fighting Dreamfire on their north. They're going to be fighting Boogie Borders on their south, and Retek is just sitting here, basically, with his heart in his mouth, hoping that those heartbeat sensors are too busy taking care of all of the other teams around him.
Yeah, just try not to breathe right now, try not to show presence, but Retek, well, he was brought back to life for good reason, and perhaps his survival will be paramount this time around. But here comes Onyx from the south side. They're trying to hamper north side as Nuku already down and outed by Raiki, actually. So it's going to be a three-way assembly here. Boogie Borders still going to be in the same ballpark. Valiant just listening in down below. Onyx, though, completely fortified right now, yet again, with the Newcastle, as well as the Watson ultimate. So beyond that, it's more and more of these staging points for these teams, but look at that circle. Look at how Golden Stage is still within the inside. Valiant, I'll also say, they went for that gamble on the ground, and it's really paying off if they can stay in cover as much as possible.
Yeah, it's really going to be a fantastic spot for them, as you say, especially with some of the the unbreakable windows looking out towards that side. Onyx, who are above them right now, they're going to have to run through Boogie Borders, who are in the train car just ahead of them. So it'll be a little bit of a fight for the higher ground between them and maybe even Northside Esports, who are to the east as well. So those three teams are going to be kind of worrying about that. Valiant, are they making the move? Yeah, they're actually changing it up down the bottom. They're Golden Sage, however, so they still haven't found a way to get Azu back into the fight here, which is such a shame, because as we say, they're in such a good spot. They've got that. Man, I wonder if someone else pulls a respawn beacon out. If they could use the crypto to res. But anyway, look, Valkort's going everywhere. Everyone trying to get into this next circle.
Yeah, why this happens. Valiant actually sieging the southeast side, so there's convergence onto front. North side gonna get eliminated, as where we have Valiant as well as our leading team going at them. Valiant still dealing with all of that. Golden Stage in the meantime defending their territory as much as possible. And it's a bit of the trade system yet again. Onyx, though, holding steadfast, gonna get down here. MDY White right in front of them, I believe. And it's gonna be MDY White who gets eliminated by Onyx, but look who's stalking them like prey. It's Valiant searching for targets as Boogie Borders is already down. Do they know, though, that Onyx is just right below them this time? 6 squads remaining. You got EXO, you got also DF right beside each other, but Valiant right now, they went the call to go for the high ground. They're going for the kills. They're in a bit of trouble, sure, but they have that cover. They have a spot to at least reset themselves.
Oh my god, incredible prescience there from Valiant to go from the low to the high ground at just the right time. The three teams above them, they were too busy being engaged with each other, and they just take it for free, swapping essentially with the only one left. Onyx gets Mechus. There's one player left alive from those 3 squads that they essentially just hoodwinked up onto the high ground right now. We're having a look at another team in a fantastic spot. EXO, of course, playing from staging. They managed to get a spot right up the top on the crane. You'd imagine they must have used their Skyward Dive to play this one. You don't want to take this spot too early because it does have sightlines everywhere, but if you use the Skyward Dive to take this late when there's no one on the high ground, as you can see, that's all cut off by the zone at the moment, the crane can be a fantastic power spot to play from.
Yeah, and RTL going back to the Valiant house, basically taking their camp away from them. Valiant watching for that location while EXO's being watched by the low ground. But you mentioned it, EXO, eventually, we were talking about it at the start. Is it handed on the silver platter? Is it finally their chance? Well, they're back to where they started, back to where they belong, and they at least have the highest ground to watch over everyone on the perch. Valiant, though, still going for that pressure, and at the same time, it should be RTL eliminated. Yes, no escape whatsoever. 5 left here,
You can see a single Arc Star just waiting for the perfect moment to dole that out and take down RTL. These 30-30 repeater from Killapose here is dealing massive damage as well, though. And suddenly, Valiant are under a bit of pressure of their own. Golden Sage have managed to hold it down by themselves. Mexha's still ratting here, so 5 squads as we get a familiar ending circle here on staging.
Exoclan deciding to drop down. Golden Sage will just be fools in the end. But it's Valiant who comes in one more time. Dreamfire finding the final target of Onyx. And here we go. 2 squads left. Valiant versus Dreamfire for our final map of this set. And Dreamfire playing the setup yet again. But Valiant peeking, looking for the prods. Dreamfire still just waiting for someone to come at them. It's getting dangerous though here, Genome. It's closing it in. But look at Dreamfire go. Watch the skies. The takedowns come again and again! No escape for Valiant! They drop down just to die! And Dreamfire will ignite at the end!
Wow, Dreamfire, it finished on the low ground rather than the high ground. That was a hard one to predict, but because of that, Dreamfire just play the angles. They play directly below. It's very hard to get those shots on if you know if they are like 100%, right